Welcome to the Challenge Chronicles. I'm Devin Jordan. I'm with Trace Armstrong and Rob McIntyre. We're here to do our draft of the cast of the Challenge USA 2 on CBS August 10th.
Yeah, sounds right.
Is that correct? August 10th.
Yeah.
Be there, be square. Trace, you had an update for us earlier this week about programming for USA 2. What's the update?
So there's a big update. So prior to this past week, the original plan was that the Challenge USA 2 was going to air for 3 weeks on Thursday at 10 and Sunday at 9 to burn through 6 episodes in 3 weeks. This week, CBS put out a press release that said that's not what's going to happen now. USA 2 is going to be 12 weeks on Thursdays at 10 p.m. because of the actors and writers strike, and Yellowstone will instead be aired on broadcast television on Sunday nights for either a 1 or 2 hour slot, depending on what the NFL schedule is for the week.
The new season of Yellowstone?
No, they're starting at season 1.
Interesting. Okay. For this season of the Challenge USA 2, we were talking about before we got on about how the team that someone is on for this season is a big factor in this. I don't know if I want to reveal my thoughts right now about what I think.
I don't either. Like, I just want to be very cagey about my plan.
Let's just get going. We'll talk about it as we go.
So I think Devin's got the overall first pick. So
I have the first pick. How did this happen?
Random, just me randomly.
Rob does his random generator. You're pick number 1, and somehow I'm always pick 2. So
no, you always
I'm
pick
usually
one
3.
for a while.
Oh, that's right. It's been a little mixture, but
I don't think there's any debate on who goes number 1. For either of you.
If you don't pick this person, I'm gonna call you a dumbass.
Like I
don't feel as strongly about this. So
I do. I think it's a clear cut who should be number 1.
It has to be Tori.
What?
Yeah.
I think that was the chalk pick up until this past season, because our World Championship, she still scored very well. But like Danny scored higher than she did. A couple other people did. It wasn't quite like before. Like on Ride or Die since Spies and Allies, it was no contest.
This is also a different editing team from the main show.
I don't know if we know that at all. Like I don't think we have any reason to believe that.
We can say USA 1 was a lot different.
And even if it is a different editing team, she still scored well across like each of those different seasons.
Okay.
I think that there's not a clear number 1 this season. So go ahead, Trace.
Pauly.
Okay, Pauly for Trace the second. Okay, that's so you
I know who
think
you're
he's
gonna
be
pick.
Fine.
I know who you're gonna pick.
I'm taking Wes and Johnny. Yeah.
Yeah, of course you are.
I think so. All right, you took Wes. I think that's in the range of when I would start to think about picking him. But I think he's on the disaster tribe this season.
You think his team is that bad?
Yeah, I think that team could be a fucking mess. And that's why I had him
well, I think any team but the red team is probably going to be a mess.
I don't agree.
No, I think the blue team's going to be strong. I think the blue team is
the best team.
I think the blue team and the red team are strong. I think, and they do this when they put together these teams. They consciously put together a team that's going to be a fucking joke because that brings some entertainment to light.
Well, do we know how they're going to be picked?
No.
I don't know.
I think it's just schoolyard pick. I don't think this is them.
I don't know if it's schoolyard pick or preset. We won't know till episode 1. We just know that there's 3 teams.
Regardless, I think the green team could be an absolute disaster.
Yeah, there's some weak sauce there.
We know Amanda's not great in missions. The men outside of Wes, I mean, we don't really know a lot about. I don't think we have any real reason to think that they're going to be stellar. Michaela's very good from a female perspective, and Desi's pretty solid, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of think the red team is the worst team.
No, I don't think so at all. They have Donnie, Janae, Pauly, and Josh is okay at. And I think you and I would agree with this, that he's better in a team context when it comes to missions than he is at individual missions.
I would agree with that. And the other thing too about the red team,
and they have your girl. They have Michelle.
I love Michelle, but I don't think that she's like super helping out on these team missions. I
I
just think
do
that
because she's good at puzzles. She's good at puzzles, math, and memory.
that's actually a good point. I mean,
Yeah.
I just think that they're bottom end woman. I think Tiffany and Chanel probably predict as the worst one I've seen.
Yeah,
I
and
think
I would
Chanel's-
even say that the Dusty guy from Amazing Race, having watched his season, he's really good at physical stuff, and he did well at puzzle stuff. They lost because his partner kind of had a meltdown in the last leg. So, like, every man on that red team is at least competent, if not very good.
I actually think these teams will be pretty even. I would rank them blue, green, red right now, from what I know.
Oof.
No,
I would give you blue,
disagree.
red, green, but not green number one. That's no.
So-
And I have green
Green's
too. Blue,
abjectly
blue,
bad.
blue, I would have one.
We just went through the red team, and I think we need. There's one weak spot on the red team, and that's Tiffany. I think Chanel's going to be fine. I don't think she's
Okay.
going to be very, very entertaining, but I think from a competition perspective, she'll be fine.
I feel like that team is just gonna have the most immediate chaos.
That depends. Johnny's friends with Polly, apparently. So,
How the heck is that gonna work?
I've always
That's the big
said be
question, I guess.
careful about how you think their feud actually was. And that I have always said I feel like it's Cara that has the bigger issue with Johnny instead of Polly.
All right, Trace, you get another pick here.
All right. Do I want to go competition or do I want to go a different way?
I think that's kind of an obvious pick here too, and I kind of thought about making it, but
I feel like if John A is on the board in round 2, you have to take her.
okay. I'm not liking my third draft spot right now. Actually, I think there's gonna be some steals that Devin
I
might
think what
latch
Devin's
onto.
Um,
about to steal who the other pick I had was.
I'm going to go with Thessie.
Yep, there it was.
And then I'm going to pick her. I don't feel great about it, though. I'm going to go. I guess I'll go with Michaela.
Michaela, okay.
Interesting
I hope
choice.
she hangs
I
around
wouldn't
a
have
bit
gone
longer this
there.
season.
I
I
don't
feel
feel great
like
about
she
it.
could be a pretty good cast member. She doesn't get a chance to show it on 5,000 Allies.
She's the strongest woman on that team. So if they hang with the team
Yeah.
format for a while, she's gonna be on that team for like as long as they're a
Well,
team.
do we know how these people are getting voted in?
No.
Because my thing is, it could if it's the other teams making that decision, then she could definitely be in a couple.
I can't even
which could be
tell
points.
you, are they going to eliminate 2 people per week? Is it going to be like a female and a male elimination? I don't even have a clue as to what they're doing here.
Who knows?
The trailer does not give you that type of info, which to their credit, I'm actually giving them a lot of props. There's a lot of questions coming into this that's going to force you to watch to figure out what's really going on. So props to them for a change. Okay, back to me. I feel if this person's still on the board just for the fight and drama points, you got to take Amanda.
Yeah, dude. I think that's
No,
a highway robbery in the third round.
no, I think it's a joke.
I think
because
she could be the highest per episode score by a decent amount for as long as she's around.
she could be gone episode 1.
She
because
could be.
So from my perspective, that team's a fucking train wreck, and she's the weakest person on that team.
But does her status as a vet buy her some time?
There aren't vets on that team.
It's her and Wes.
I know, that's what I mean. Like, that's it.
Well, I'm curious if just being a vet is gonna have some sort of influence just based on that.
Like, do
It
they
doesn't seem like
also
really
maybe
separated out.
potentially have immunity
Yeah.
for a while?
I don't know about that, but I think that they have really separated out those 6 cast members from everybody else. All the promotionals have had Wes, Tori, Bananas, Janae, Amanda, and Corey off as kind of the side of their own thing, whereas everybody else is their other thing. So I think that they could just based on that, they could hang around for a bit.
Yeah. So if you're gonna take Fessy off the board, I got to take Amanda.
Yeah, I think she's a good pick, man. I think it's funny to me too because before Spies and Allies, she was never seen as that bad of a competitor. She's very good at puzzles. She's been only hang around or pretty much any season she's been outside of Dirty 30. Every other season she does make it quite far.
I mean, you have to think about how many of like the more modern seasons she's been on where they really gravitated to this type of competition format.
Well, I think
really
the
hasn't been
other
that many.
thing though is too, she's not really part of the Vacation Alliance, and she's combative with a lot of those people, so they try to get rid of her.
Like on Final Reckoning, she and Zach were like the best team for that season until they throw themselves.
She and Zach until they fuck up.
Yeah, until they put themselves in elimination, they're basically the best team. So okay, so I'm gonna take Corey in the third round. I just think that these vets are gonna have a bit of an edge on everybody else. I just get the sense that they're gonna have some advantage.
I feel like the vets are gonna band together to work it down to where it's just them left. I think that's the
Do you
play.
think Tori and Amanda are like hanging or helping each other out that
No,
much? I think
they
that could be
fucking
that's
hate
the
each
weak part of
other.
that.
They legitimately, if you've watched the social media drama postseason, Amanda like brought out Tori's alleged escort past, and like called her a whore and a snake and all this kind of stuff.
Like,
And then Tori was talking about getting a lawyer. Like these two legit hate each other.
the vitriol between the two of them has got to be the biggest of anybody in the casting pool right now, right?
For sure.
Yeah. So as for Corey, I think there's a pretty significant drop off at this point. There's two directions I guess I'm looking at. I'll take Michelle. She just tends to always have a screen time while she's around. I don't know how good her team is going to be compared to how good everybody else is, but I do think she's just going to have a big presence just by being on the show.
Yeah.
That's who I was going to pick next. I think
Yeah,
that's a good,
that was
I
going to
think-
be my pick.
I think
So.
for me, that was like a clear decision.
And so I kind of feel like in that same vein, since this person is still on the board, I have to take him, Josh.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Because he and Paulie are going to fight. He's going to be on screen crying a lot. He's going to, try to pump up himself, and they'll give him confessionals because he seems to always get screen time because casting and production love him. So he's going to get on your TV as long as he's around. And the fact that the rumor is that Johnny and Tori did this season to help Josh get a win was the quote. So,
if Johnny and Paulie are cool, and Tori and Paulie have actually always kind of been cool, where do we think he and Paulie stand?
I don't know. They have not exactly interacted on social media, so they might still be evasive. If anything, you're going to get a lot of confessionals about how Josh doesn't trust Paulie.
All right.
Okay, I think the board is really falling off at this point.
Yeah, this is where we fall off the cliff.
All of the players from the main show are gone at this point. I think.
Is it really everybody?
Yeah. All the vets are gone.
Wow.
They're gone. I think there is a clear choice. I'm going to take Alyssa Lopez.
Yep, that's who I wanted. There you go.
Just because you have some knowledge of who she is, or
she's played the game
That's
before
what
and
she's
she played
doing.
very well.
Like in the first time she ever played, I think she was very competent. And she wasn't terrible when it came to like the physical aspect of the game either. So I think she's going to be fine. And now after I make this next pick, we're really falling off a cliff. So
I just want to make sure you get stuck with Underwood. That's my goal here.
I think he's from like a physical perspective, he's fine. I think
he's just going to be. He's just cannon fodder for this show, though.
Is he?
No,
I think he's way better than the other Survivor.
I mean, he's on. Isn't he on? Is he on the blue team, or is he on West?
He's on blue.
Yeah, I feel like he and
better,
Sebastian are cannon fodder.
Like Sebastian's going to go before him. Like Chris, I think
definitely.
Chris Underwood's going to be fine. I'm going to take Desi.
It's a good pick.
That's a good
solid pick. Okay,
she's just not in the drama very much typically.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I definitely don't want that person. God, this is a hard decision now because we're kind of just hitting that wall of do I take someone earlier than I want to take them, but I feel like they're going to be worthwhile.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, Trace. But the rest of there's not much science to my picks. This is gonna be like, yeah. So if you like somebody, take them.
All right. I just feel like because of who this person's team he's on is the only reason I'm gonna pick him at this point. I'm gonna take Luis Colon from The Amazing Race. He was really, really, really good at puzzles, and he was very physical on The Amazing Race. And because he's on Wes's team and seeing Monty and who's the other guy on their team?
It's Tyler.
Knowing also how smart Luis was on The Amazing Race, I feel like he's the type of guy Wes is going to try to protect. So if I've got to pick a scrub, I've got to pick somebody that Wes is going to work with, and I think it's Luis.
Okay. I'll take Alyssa Snyder with my next pick. She just has some type of athletic background, which you can't say about everybody else on the women's side in particular.
Okay.
She was definitely she's definitely had kind of like Annalise vibes, where she was certainly not like the head of her alliance by any means, but was able to just kind of hang around in the background of it. So maybe she just does that again this season. After that, so we're not looking too promising with anybody here. There's two directions I'm really looking at. I guess I'll go Tyler. I mean, he was a very prominent character on the season of Big Brother, and there has been a decent amount of people talking about when he would appear on the show. So maybe just that level of fanfare boosts him up the ranks a bit when he shows up here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with
It's me, sir.
Trace.
Who the fuck is Seabass?
The guy from Survivor.
Survivor.
What season?
Have you been like, is Trace just like not on the show anymore, Devin? Like he just only pays attention when he talks, doesn't pay attention when anybody else does?
Ghost Island.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see, I didn't finish that season. I don't remember him.
Again, he's my least favorite character from that season. I very much enjoy Ghost Island. I'm very curious as to why he was casted.
All right. I think I'm gonna go with Monty.
I think that's a good pick.
I don't love
thinking
it,
about
but
taking
I
the
feel
last
like
one.
who's on the board, like that's the best pick of what's on the board is Monty at this point.
All right, now it's me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think Monty's a good pick. I am going to go. I want to go with Tiffany because I think she might get some points while she hangs around. But realistically, there's a lot of women that are left that are just like going to be the first women out from their team.
Yeah.
Because Cassidy, I think, could, from like a political and strategic perspective, I think she's going to be fine. But she's the bottom woman on the blue team.
Yes, very clear.
So you're not taking Tiffany?
I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Chris Underwood with my first pick.
I'm surprised you thought he would be the last pick, Trace.
We just talked denigratingly about him a lot, so I just assumed he might be.
I think just in terms of as an athlete, like he's fine compared to the rest of these Jamokes.
And I think they get rid of Seabass before they get rid of Chris Underwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My next pick. So Monty's been taken, correct?
Yeah, I took
Monty
him.
is gone.
I just feel like we're in the cannon fodder section now. Like these are the people that are gonna get voted in over and over until they go home.
I'm gonna go with Dusty just because it pretty much comes down to like there's a lot of uncertainty around who is gonna be like at the top of the male side on the green team along with Wes. That there we just have no idea.
Well, Dusty's on the red team.
Is he?
Yeah, he's on the team with Bananas, Polly, and Josh. That's why I didn't take him earlier.
So it's Monty. All right, fine. I'll take him. Whatever.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard, Dusty.
Green is Wes, Monty, Tyler, and Luis.
Yeah.
And that's why I just feel like Tyler is just the man with it. I mean, it's gonna be tough for him.
Everyone left is on the bottom of their team.
I mean, it's the bottom. Like it's like you're trying to gauge like who's either going to get some screen time before they go or who might win an elimination before they go. Man, I really don't like this person, but I feel like I'm going to wind up picking him now. All right. I don't love it. I'm going to take Chanel.
I honestly think that's fine.
That's who I would have picked.
Yeah. The only reason that like I feel like she might be okay for a little bit is the fact that she's on the green team. And so I think there's some weaker women that if she goes in, she might at least win one elimination before going home.
Do we think Wes and Amanda are going to be like, how much of the same brain are they going to be working?
I think Amanda's going to try to tell Wes what to do, and Wes is going to tell her, no, that's stupid a lot.
I think he's certainly going to try to work with him.
He's going to have to. All right, Rob, what you thinking, man?
I'll take Tiffany. I just think she's pretty clearly the biggest character of any of these people left. So I think I could see her and Johnny having a lot of altercations for as long as she's on that team.
Yeah.
So I'll roll with that.
Man, I'd
next
really
up here,
like to avoid that team if I can at this point.
This is not a great crew of the people we've got left.
I mean, this is the last round, right?
Yeah, I'll take Cassidy. If I do think the blue team is the best team, I'll just
I was talking. That's who I was thinking.
She picks up a couple mission wins before she's out of here.
Yeah. All right. So who's left is
Mira or Seabass?
Whoever's not Seabass is who I'll take. I feel like he's going home episode 1 if he gets voted in.
I feel like there's a huge disadvantage this season by picking first.
Why?
Because once it came,
there's just a huge drop off after Josh.
Not even before Josh. Like
after round 2 and 3, he was just done.
Because like by the time it came back to me, there was Fessy, and then I feel like after Fessy, there's a huge cliff with who's available.
No, Amanda. I think Amanda's.
I feel like Amanda and Josh to me were my steals of the draft that I got them where I did.
No, I really just think that the green team is going to be the disaster team. Like I think like it could just be like one right after another.
We'll see.
And then she could be the first woman potentially gone off of that team.
We also don't know how locked in are these teams. Like it's very hypothetical that you could go in and win, or something could happen. You're on a different team.
So she'd have to win an elimination then.
That's fine. Go in and she can go in and win against some of these people.
I don't know. Like I really don't think that there's that many women on this cast who are going to be completely inept.
No, I don't. I don't think there's many people on this cast overall who are going to be an absolute.
I don't think they're going to be inept, but I think the politics is just going to work against where they have to go against each other. So it's like flip a coin, who wins.
I think Amanda was. I agree. I think Amanda and Josh were both very good picks where you got them.
Yeah,
I thought about taking Josh over Michelle,
and I got my best of the scrubs I really wanted in Luis as well. So the only pick that I was not like in love with is I didn't necessarily want to take John where I did, but if she's sitting there in round 2 where she was, it was kind of hard not to pick her just because Fessy is yet to show he can finish.
I think I would have taken Fessy before I took Janae.
So,
and this is somebody who again thinks that the vets who are on this cast are going to have a lot of leeway. To me, out of the vets, she actually was involved in a decent amount of drama on World Championship, but she just doesn't tend to.
But she's going to be working with Bananas, which I think that's going to be a bit of a struggle for her. I think because I listened to a podcast she did with Johnny's ex Morgan, and she's not a huge Banana fan. So,
well, they seem like they were on decent terms on World Championship, didn't they?
I mean, they were on decent terms, but she's like, I don't necessarily like working with him, but it was necessary for her to work with him, and then she's forced to here. Devin, is it fair to say that if I had taken Fessy instead of John you would have grabbed John in round 2 or 3?
Yeah, I wouldn't even thought about it.
Yeah, okay. So that's why it was like I feel like she's gonna make it to the end. Like she's so good politically. She's going to make it to the end. So she's got a shot to win this thing.
It'll just be very interesting to see how these people return for elimination. So who do we think wins this season? Like who's your male and female pick if we're heading into this?
Great question.
Fessy and Tori.
You think it's Fessy and Tori? I think that's a good picks.
I think that would be those would be the betting favorites.
You think Fessy is the betting favorite over Wes and Johnny?
Yeah, because again, and I know that we're not on the same page as this. I think the green team is the disaster tribe.
But can Wes? It doesn't matter though. Does Wes just have to survive to get to the final? And if he's in the final,
it makes it more difficult to survive though if you're on the disaster tribe because we don't know how.
But see, that's the thing that I just don't know because I haven't looked at spoilers. But somebody I know that did said you're probably not going to like how they pick who goes into elimination.
Well, there's like a ball. We saw a lottery.
It's like a lottery, so it could be that like
the trailer.
It's kind of like the kill card thing. Like someone could just keep skating by because their lottery number doesn't come up. And so those are the types of things that really put an X factor just in a draft here, because it's like, if we knew it was just going to be a straight pick, then politically it'd be really easy to go, this is who's going to vote for who.
I mean, I think that makes it a lot more random generally. Like
Yeah.
that means that these people who we think, oh, they're safe because they're good in politics, like Janae or someone
They
like
might
Wes or
just,
John,
their
who
ball
just has
keeps
friends.
coming
They
up.
might just get picked. They might just get picked. So I think that actually really doesn't help them out. I think Wes and Johnny would still be the betting favorites. I don't think that's where I would go though. I think Fessy, this does seem like a season that Fessy could win.
Yeah. Him being partnered with Tori and having Corey Wharton on the team, even though I think he's not terrible, but he's never won. Like, there's no conflict between those three people, so they're going to be very.
Oh, I mean,
lockstep.
Corey and Fessy, I don't know how well they get along now.
They were on better places. They were in better places. They'll be fine. And so, like, there's just no drama between the three of them in terms of what decisions they're going to make once they know the format. Wes and Amanda, they're going to have a harder time getting on the same page, which also lends credence to the disaster team. On Johnny's side, he always seems to make friends with people he's had conflict with. So I feel like the foursome of him and Josh and Polly and John A, like, it's not, unless this lottery system just keeps serving up bad luck, like, they're going to be fine for a while, but at least two of them are going to wind up going home before the final.
It feels like Tori just kind of has to be the betting favorite for the woman, right?
Yes.
I think
guess
her
Janae would be
path is
second,
the
but-
easiest. So yeah, I would say that you would easily put Tori as the betting favorite. And then on the male side, I'm gonna say it. I think I would put my money on Polly
to win. Wow, dude, that's if Paulie wins, this is gonna be a good season, right? Like that's the way this is the best season. Somehow he wins this.
Last time we
At
saw him
least
in the
makes the
final, he was
final.
literally like collapsing over himself.
Yeah.
How much of that was real?
What do you mean? How much of that was real?
Well, a lot of that was just
I think he was putting a lot of that on.
Well, I don't know that he was.
They were already
putting a lot
down
of
by
that
like 3
on.
hours.
He was putting it on?
No.
I
Why?
absolutely think he was.
He was trying to
actually-
make himself look like shit.
No, that's just what he does, and it's
That's
also
crazy.
like
No,
All right, I gotta
don't
go.
they
think
were
that
already
at all.
behind
I gotta
by
go.
like 3 hours.
You're crazy. You're literally nuts.
Yeah.
Like that's
I
one
could
of the hottest
expound
takes
on
I've ever
that for
heard.
5 minutes why that's not true, but I won't.
I gotta go.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
thanks everybody.
Have a good weekend,
Okay.
everyone. Bye.
Yep. Talk to you guys later.